What's going on, guys? Ellie from Copenhagen here. You might not know who I am, but you've got nothing better to do. So watch the Soccer Cooligans, talking all things football, politics, music, culture. Swipe up, click the link,
That'll do. That'll
perfect.
do. Ay, papi!
Wow, held it, baby.
Yes, it's those harmonica skills. I really have trained my diaphragm.
For those of you listening, you're missing out. Christian revealed on Twitch that one of his high school classes was, and I quote, harmonica.
Harmonica class.
That's right.
That was one of my electives. Okay, it's how I maintained my virginity for so long. Okay.
Oh, bro.
Respect my. Anyway, so hello everybody. Welcome to another Prem show. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. We are live right now on Twitch, as we are normally every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Join us in the future if you'd like to be a part of the show, part of the chat. And thank you.
Come on, you're missing out. You really are.
There was just so much revealed.
The stuff that happens before this podcast episode gets recorded is always amazing, always funny. Something always hilarious happens, and you're missing out because you're not on twitch.tv/soccercooligans or at twitch.com.
Exactly.
Which brings you right here.
Exactly. And you can create an account on both of those websites. All right? Feel free to do that. So,
and only one of them is going to steal your identity. Guess which one?
So we're excited to be back with another episode. There's obviously a lot to cover. We've now gotten over the high of the Euros of Copa America. Now all the players. Now we're getting some transfers finalized. We're seeing players on vacation.
You've seen Copa America, and Arsenal said no va pa America.
Yes, we will get to that in a moment. We've also seen Lionel Messi getting hounded. Oh, speaking of hounds,
and bit by a dog.
We've seen Lionel Messi getting hounded in Miami by fans. The dude, there's nowhere he can go literally on planet Earth where somebody does not know who he is and will not accost him in some way. So
he is as world famous as it gets, I think.
I agree. So where to begin? Alexis, any thoughts? People in the chat, where should we start?
Let's talk transfer windows.
Okay.
And we'll go from there, because I put this link in the chat, in the Slack, I should say. There's a listing that came out from ESPN as to who's had the best transfer windows. And as far as Premier League teams are concerned, PSG is listed up there as having the best one so far, with key additions being Hakimi, whatchamacallit?
Yes.
Danilo Pereira, Pereira, because he's Portuguese. Donnarumma, huge. Wijnaldum, right? This Barcelona for them. And obviously Sergio Ramos, right? Who, by the way, put out a nice message for Cuba. So shouts to Sergio Ramos. Yeah. I'll never say anything disrespectful about you for the next 10 seconds.
Wow, what a promise. What a commitment.
Number 2 is listed as Manchester United, with the only addition being Jadon Sancho, and Queiroz is none. It's that good? Just Jadon Sancho makes you the best transfer market in all of England?
The other rumor is Rafael Varane.
Rafael Varane,
which is not,
but that hasn't been
finalized or whatever.
They also got no striker. I know they have Cavani, but you know what I mean.
You think? Oh yeah, that should be one of the players that they go for. One of the positions that they try to fill at striker.
Yeah, they need. It's Cavani, and then behind him is Mason Greenwood, I guess.
Rashford can play there. Martial.
Everyone could play there.
You think
Mason Greenwood is a striker? He is listed as a striker. He was developed as a striker. So that's the closest you could get. And look, Bay Area Gooner said it. Pogba is rumored to go to PSG. Now, if Manchester United sell Pogba to get a bigger name player like a Harry Kane or whatnot, then you can kind of see like, all right, that was a good move. But if Pogba goes to PSG, you now lost an incredibly important part of your midfield. And so far, all you've gained is Jadon Sancho.
Pogba would be a tremendous loss.
Yes, massive.
No matter how much, some Manchester United fans could be frustrated with him, or
I don't know.
I don't even see why, but regardless.
Wouldn't it inspire you to see how good – you're an Everton fan, and you saw how good Pickford played in the Euros.
Yeah.
Think about how good Pogba looked in the Euros. Aren't you inspired to want to get Pickford back in your club saying, oh, my God, he's going to have a great season because look how good he played in this tournament?
Yeah, their stock is high. And Pogba had a pretty good it's just if France should have done better. France underachieved. They lost in penalties. Again, that's just it. That's how it ended. But they, defensively, they made some mistakes to allow it to even go to that to penalties. Well, nutmeg is gonna be nutmeg.
And you just pretend he's not there.
We're trying to literally walked him like 3 times, took him out, did everything today. You got
to walk him into another apartment and leave him there for the duration of this show. Guys, sign up to Gully Squad so we can get a studio, please. a barkless studio.
We're trying.
Vinegar Strokes said, think Leicester has had an incredible window. Young and high potential can be flipped for double or triple down the line. Leicester is listed as number 3, so they would be the second best in England, which again, I don't know that I necessarily agree with this list, but so far they've gotten Patsandaka from Salzburg and Soumari from Lille. Lille winning Liga, and Soumari looking like a great player during that run. I'm not going to lie and say here I sit here and say I watched a lot of the Lille matches, but obviously our homie Timo Weah was there, so I watched a little bit, and they've looked pretty good. I mean, I don't know a ton about Daka either, but he's a 22-year-old forward.
No. You've got DACA is a program for children of immigrants,
right?
That were undocumented, and it's a pathway to citizenship. So, Alexis, this is kind of important stuff that you should probably know about in America.
So you just said that, and honestly, I think Leicester's are dreamers to win the league. You know what I mean?
So a couple other ones as far as
let's talk about Arsenal's transfer window.
Arsenal, who they signed.
We got Tavares, who looked incredible in preseason. I think we got him for 8-10 million, something like that. Crazy, right? We've got Lokonga, right? Your boy Sambi from RSC Anderlecht, 22 years old, captain of Anderlecht. 22 years old, and he's the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, right? And he's going to sit there. He's going to slot next to Partey from the looks of it. And it looks like it hasn't necessarily been announced, but it's in the Slack. It looks like Arsenal's paperwork got signed today. £50 million for Ben White, which another incredible. Is someone bowling in your apartment? What was that?
That was my upstairs neighbor that occasionally it just I don't know where that sound. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's like dropping a weight, but maybe once or twice a week I hear that noise and it's absolutely terrifying.
Well, hopefully he got turkey for that third strike because that was pretty wild. So it looks like £50 million for Ben White. Lokonga,
from Brighton, right? Ben White came from Brighton, if I'm not mistaken.
But don't forget, he also had that loan at Leeds, and he looked incredible. And we've talked about this. If you look like a good defender in Leeds, that means you're an incredible defender because them boys is just throwing you got no cover. You got nothing.
Right. Yeah, they put a lot of responsibility on you if you're a defender for Leeds.
And by the way, Bay Area Guna says they're not done yet. Locatelli is rumored to almost be done. And Awar, whatever my guy's name is, also rumored to be close to done. So it looks like Arsenal's going on a £100 million shopping spree.
Ooh, I mean, these are some pretty good names. Awar has come up as the last 3 years? At least
the last 2. He looked really good, remember, in the last Champions League.
Yeah.
And this was during the first Florentine Champions League where they did it after. And I think the number was £45 million. And Olympique Lyon Olympique Lyon are some of the toughest negotiators in the game. They don't move off of their valuation. You either buy them or you don't. They didn't. But now I think he's being offered at lower.
Steven Jumbo just said, but who is leaving then? Who's leaving Arsenal?
Okay, so we have a big list. Willian Willian came out today and said he has no plans on leaving, that he wants to finish his career at Arsenal. And everyone's like, no. Have you thought about finishing it elsewhere? Okay. Obviously, he nowhere to go. Bellerin is supposed to have been sold. The rumor was he might go to Inter Milan. And I thought maybe those conversations could be finished in Orlando, but looks like that's not going to happen. So looks like Bellerin also. Xhaka's deal to Roma still not done. Even after Xhaka looked incredible in the Euros, you would imagine that would be a big target for Roma. Still not done. The Odegaard and Ceballos are the only ones who left, and that's because they were on loan.
Right. This is going to be a very different Arsenal midfield. I mean, this can be an opportunity to either have a lot of improvement or be a year where they're like the first, 10 games, they're like still trying to figure things out. I don't think this is going to be a super strong year for Arsenal, I
disagree.
Even if they get some of these players. I think it's going to be a tough adjustment. Could they make Champions League with some of these guys? Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where, when we spoke to Gilberto Silva, he was talking, when you asked him, like, basically, why don't they fire Mikel Arteta?
I said, with you. And he went, whoa! He reacted like that.
So if this is, where we see if Arteta will be the long-term dude. I mean, this is going to be that year. There's not much of a long leash for Arteta this time around. He has to do
the
well.
preseason hasn't looked great. And, all jokes aside, them not going to Orlando stops them from playing two bigger clubs in Inter Milan and Everton, which I think would have been a good example.
I love this. Hold on. Jaron, the Tottenham fan, says, going nowhere with Arteta.
Which lets me know he's the right manager to have. When a Tottenham fan thinks he's a bad manager, that means he's good.
What did you think of? You mentioned Willian. There's been that photo of him going around. Chubby Willian. What do we think about? I mean, I wouldn't. It wasn't like super. Maybe with the camera, he didn't look necessarily insanely out of shape. What did you think?
I mean, that goes to show you he went in the gym in the offseason. Homie was in Florida, being like, I'm going to come hang out in MLS. I don't need to be skinny. And then that deal didn't go through.
Okay.
So I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you already have kind of, which by the way, the most scoring chances created last season for Arsenal came from Willian. And I think something like the most assist potentials. I forget what the other, stat was. Also, Willian was the best. So he did have statistically a good season. I don't think the fans have a lot of trust in him. But if you're a player like that and your goal is to really come back and finish your career with Arsenal and, you love the club and yada, 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 you would assume you'd come back fit, in shape, ready to go. And he came back with he got barbecue sauce on his lips. He was just eating ribs, and he was like, "Yo, my bad. I didn't know that was today."
Yeah. I got it. I put in my calendar for the wrong month.
Yo, have y'all been to America? The food crazy out there, bro.
Okay. They keep adding stuff to the plate. I told them to stop.
Nah. Turns out I'm allowed to get up and have as many plates as I want. I never heard of this before.
So
I thought it was a French restaurant. It was called a buffet.
That Corey says zero trust in Willian. Bayer Guna said Willian getting in that R9 weight class.
And by the way, there's a great answer here. I know Jaron said that Arteta definitely not the right man, right? We're going nowhere with Arteta. We have a counter to that, and that is from Jess Howen, who says Arteta is absolutely the head of my thirst trap 11. Okay.
Really? Okay. Really? Up front, the striker position.
Stephen Jumbo Jet put free refills. Willian was like, this whole soda, I got 2 of them, 3 of them, as many as I want. This should be illegal.
See, at the very least, it's irresponsible. But I'm gonna say no. I'm just a guest in your country.
No wonder the cup holders is so big in these cars.
Just said no. Head coach on the thirst trap. Okay, that's fair.
Crimson Pizza says Besitos 11 coach. it's got to be him or Zidane.
Zidane. I mean, you can give a besito right on the bald head.
On the dome. Has anyone ever said Zidane is sexy?
Yeah. Is that a thing? I mean, he's like one of those dudes. He's like Morgan Freeman. He's like always looked old his entire career.
Right? He looks like he's in pain. He's always like, Jess Allen said his wife. Aw.
Okay.
Bro, we're objectifying.
Yeah, enough of this beautiful sentiment. We don't need any of that.
Vinegar strokes. Go ahead, read it.
Zidane gives good head, but boom. Okay. You get featured for that one. All right.
Luke Sergio says, I would say Zidane is handsome, but not sexy. Well, all right.
Okay. Stefan on CB said Koeman as sexy?
Not even slightly, bro.
With all due respect to this very pale pink man.
Go stand next to Sam Allardyce, my guy. You out the competition.
Okay, you are both Everton managers. All right?
You get up out of here.
You got a lot to talk about.
Don't even disgust us with your face.
Just said, add Iniesta to the always looked old list. Yeah.
Yo, Iniesta looks stressed from day one.
Never, just literally could have been in U12s. Just been like, man, you've been playing for 45 years, sir. You know?
Damn. Yo, how you need keeps at age 12?
Why you need so much icy hot at this age?
Why you make that noise when you get out of every chair? You in the U8?
You know what? But you are master in the midfield. We're going to complain too much.
Zizou is rugged. Dimitri coming in with let's just say he's niche.
Okay, you're going to have to look deep in that Pornhub category to find.
Bro, Freddie said Roy Hodgson. Hubba.
Yes, this is great. This is where we organically get to find a place to objectify as many football managers as possible.
Bro, every time on this show.
Yeah, thank you. Please keep adding some names if anybody comes to mind.
Board Martin said Koeman got that Santa Claus look. Koeman looks like the villain in an old-time movie that involves Germans. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So
what were we talking about?
I have no idea what we were talking about. But
here's what I want you to do. Look in the Slack. The last thing I put is the picture. This is the official photo of Ben White in his Arsenal kit. It is leaked, even though the information isn't out yet. I want you to pull this up so everyone can see what this is.
Okay.
Tell me this Ben White kid don't look like he summered at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, you like some lady has hooked up with this dude at the back of a Jersey Shore convenience store.
Yeah. No, this guy has a 100% fallen off a pier dancing. Look at this man. What kind of tan? I couldn't even tell this was a white dude. I was like, yo, is my guy from Algeria? Is he Latino?
Should he have a couple accent marks over white somewhere?
Right? Doesn't it look like he should have cuts in his eyebrow? Like this guy. If you've never seen Ben White, let's just say that the last name don't fit. My guy got color to him.
Why is Ben White the blackest dude I know?
Wagwan, Ben White. Yo, Jess Howard said he added GTL to his vocabulary. Gym Tan Laundry, if y'all don't know.
Bay Raguna said Ben, quote, trying not to be white.
Board Martin said Ben White at the presser. The Cavs are here.
Follow in Minnesota said he looks like a mannequin for a porn shop. Yeah, dude.
He does. Bro, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Ben White Arsenal shirt. And even the way his hands are, he looks like he's like, you talking to me? He got like the weird little tiny soul patch.
Yeah,
I mean, shouts to Ben White. I can't wait to have you. Stream Nilo said, not sure what's worse, the hairline or the tan line. Even like the very dominant Adam's apple, the guy just has like a very Jersey Shore feel to him.
Okay, what's the English Jersey Shore show?
Isn't it Geordie Shore?
Geordie Shore, right? Okay.
that's people in Newcastle.
Sure. All right. Glad we sorted
He's from Poole in United Kingdom, which I don't know where that is.
Just
Where's
Poole, not Blackpool or Liverpool?
Hey, nope. Homie's just from Poole.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up on maps.
All right. The other names, Everton made two signings. Goalkeeper, Asmir Begovic, who came from... Where did he come from? West Ham?
He's Bosnian, I know that.
Where did he play? I forgot. Somebody may inform me. Obviously, he will be the backup to Jordan Pickford. And this was the other one that was a bit of a surprise. Andros Townsend came from Crystal Palace.
What's the kid they just signed for like $4 million? What, Damari Gray? Is that it?
That hasn't been finalized, but he's coming from Leicester, right? Damari Gray.
That seems like such a. Oh, by the way, Asmir Begovic came from Bournemouth. That seems like such a weird pick. When that purchase came up in the Arsenal group chat, they called Benitez a dinosaur manager.
Interesting. Oh, well, yeah, the Arsenal group chat might say that. Yeah.
It just seemed kind of funny. But these do feel like the kinds of purchases you make when you just hope to stay in the Premier League, not when you want to advance in the Premier League. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. This is not a big name. You know, last year, it was like James, Yerry Mina. Mina was there before that, but you know what I mean? Like just bigger splashes. This is not, look, and Andros says it right there. He was quoted. He said, "My job now is to prove I'm good enough to be an important part of this football club." That's
not what you want their first quote to say.
It is, look,
that doesn't fill you with confidence.
Okay, it's basically like, I want to just do the bare minimum to to continue receiving a paycheck. That's why it's a little bit of that feeling, but
it's a little bit like when Shawcross said, like, "Hey man, I was retired until Beckham called me, and now I'm here." Thank you, Polenza.
Polenza, thank you for the follow. Hit the follow button, everybody, if that's of interest to you. Okay,
we got a couple of people. Luke Sturgio, old ass Corey said, "Why aren't we talking about Burnsley's transfer window? It's a lot of loans. And they're not. I'm not. No one's really sure they're paying."
So, this is, he's had a couple of flashes of brilliance, a couple nice goals at Crystal Palace. But this is one of those where, like, similar to, what's his name? Came from Arsenal, Iwobi. Like, is it going to work? We don't know. It's kind of like, it's, on a free transfer, not a big risk. It could be high risk, high reward kind of thing. So we shall see. So let's obviously just talk about the elephant in the room so we can just get out of the way and continue on with our lives. But yes, Everton, they put out a statement. You guys all probably saw the news that one of their players was suspended. And from the procedural side is like they can't reveal who the name is and whatever. So
it's all legal stuff, but the internet was like, we know.
So look, we'll just continue with that. Like, allegedly, the name that has come up is Gylfi Sigurdsson. Apparently, there's some offenses where I don't know. I have literally no detail on what exactly happened. All I know.
What we do know is the player was suspended for. The report says a married player was suspended for communications with underage girls.
Yes. So that is,
which
obviously
it's not regular communications, right? You don't get suspended for that.
Nope.
How was school today? Wasn't that?
No. So look, it is obviously a very sensitive subject and awful. And if if this stuff is true, it's disgusting to see, and has no place in.
Sharon writes at Christian's harmonica.
Okay, all right. If Mr. Morgano appears in some headline, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Jaron, I wish you were an Arsenal fan.
So look. It's gross. It's gross. You hate hearing
It's gross.
stuff
But
like
here's
that.
what I like is that it seems like we're in a society now when people do this, they're like, oh, why are we overreacting? He didn't do nothing. He just tagged. You know what I mean? Like, oh, cancel culture makes me sick. These are the people we need to weed out of our society.
Of course.
You know, these are monsters. Okay, that the police in England aren't arresting you for texting normal conversations. You know what I mean? Something bad was happening. So I'm glad that this person has been removed from society. I'm glad the club jumped to say, hey, they're suspended. Let the investigation happen. And then once it is, we out of here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're done. And that's what needs to happen. And yeah, Stefan FCB said Prime Adam Johnson or Prime Sigurdsson. Same thing. Adam Johnson was grooming. And there were people that were saying, well, like, yo, he never touched that girl. He was just like, yeah, grooming is still wrong. You can't start manipulating them young and hope that once they hit of age, then you can sort of take advantage of them. That's still wrong. These are the people, like, imagine it was your daughter. Imagine it was your sister. Imagine it was your mother. You know what I mean? You got to weed these people out of society. So good.
Exactly. Okay. So let us move on.
By the way, terrible timing for Streamlabs to write in the chat. If you think something is funny, clip it. It helps us out tremendously. Terrible time.
Yeah, there weren't too many jokes in there. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was should we go to Gold Cup a little bit?
Wait, hold on. There's the leaked audio. Florentino Perez.
Right.
Florentino Perez.
Got that right here. Let's talk about that. So if people are not aware, you know, the Super League mastermind, Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid, a audio was leaked, and it's still one of those things where you're like, you know, somebody's privacy was, 100% violated. So
yeah, but we get good content from it, Christian.
that's the problem with like media nowadays, where we hear like the information is incredibly private, but nobody asks how they got it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
This been kind of going on with like Rachel Nichols and that audio, and it's like it is pretty awful that like it was. I know that she said kind of shitty things, but even though it's still like,
hey man, you talk while a Zoom is still on, that's on you.
I mean, but
I don't think that's disrespectful. And also, I don't know if you heard the audio. It sounds like Florentino Perez was in a studio booth.
he was like, Eminem, like, Joe, turn me up, turn me up.
This shit's mad clear, yo. Dude is like at least CD quality. Look, Stream Nilo said caught in 320 kilobits per second. This is insane. Yeah. I mean, we don't have the audio. We're not going to play it. We don't want to get sued. But here's just some of the quotes. And again, we only go to the best news sources. This is the Will, Nigeria.com. Sounds like a radio station. But apparently the audio has been staggered release. And also, before we read some of these quotes, let's just go back and mention the year Florentino Perez has had. Tried to start Super League. Everyone bailed. He said, well, we're still in it. You know, you need us. That didn't work out. Super League is dead. And I forgot something else happened. Oh, they're like heavily in debt.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that.
That's kind of the biggest one. That's the biggest thing.
I think Super League was his way of getting out of the crazy debt. So he said, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, he said, this guy is an idiot, a sick man. I agree so far. You think this guy is normal? He's not normal. Otherwise, he wouldn't do all the things he does. That last foolish thing he did, everyone around the world saw it.
Okay.
I mean, what exactly are we talking about?
It is vague, but we also know exactly what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, it could be so many things. It could be so many things. This is like
Tell me which of the 8 things I'm already thinking is the one you're talking about.
It is like a Ronaldo Mad Libs, and we're just filling it in with whatever offense.
A lot of this is a little Trumpy, right? Because he's not actually saying anything. He's like, everyone saw it. Everyone's talking about this guy.
He said referring to Ronaldo and the coach Mourinho don't see the reality because the two could earn a lot more money if they were different. They are both abnormal because we are talking about a lot of money in image rights. He continues on, quote, Mourinho is an idiot. It is not that he does not want to play. Well, he's a bit abnormal. That said, he has been overwhelmed by the pressure. Should we keep going?
So far, I'm kind of on the same page as Florentino Perez.
But
now he's.
But it's also you're saying this stuff, but you also are the reason these people are at the club, right? It's not taking much accountability for.
What do you mean?
You don't think he has any say in what coach is brought in and what players are brought in? Nothing?
I mean, you got to hire the best. And at the time, we would all say Mourinho was the best. Cristiano Ronaldo was the best at his position. You got to bring in the best. He did that, and they're idiots, and he's calling them idiots.
It seems a little strange. That's all.
I'm on the same.
I mean, it's fine if he says they're idiots, and I'm an idiot too for hiring them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, 2 for 2 so far, Florentino. They're talking about Iker Casillas. He said Casillas is not a Real Madrid goalkeeper. What can I say? He never has been. He has been our biggest mistake. The problem is everyone loves him. I don't know why. He has so many people on his side. But anyway, he is one of the biggest frauds.
There's really there's no subtlety. There is no. But
that's also been proven true because Iker Casillas fell apart after Mourinho suggested he shouldn't be the starter.
Okay, so look, I did not watch many Real Madrid games, especially at the time when Casillas is there. I've always taken Iker Casillas as an absolute Real Madrid legend. Is that incorrect? Can a Real Madrid supporter correct me in my perception of what Iker Casillas means to the club?
Stream Nilo said, dude absolutely has a burner account. He said, these are not takes that you say off the dome. No. He's practiced these in the mirror holding a brush as a microphone.
Nero Nation said Mourinho and Ronaldo at Real was chaotic. Okay. I could, wherever Mourinho goes, he brings the chaos with him. But
here's where I'm going to disagree, and only because I have no data, but this guy's a legend. He continued by saying, but anyway, which I love the but anyway, and then he continues down the
with all due respect, this trash person,
he's so trash. They're like, Florentino, you're the one saying both of those voices. But anyway, he's one of the biggest frauds. The second is Raul. I don't think anyone's even asked him a question yet. He's just out here spitting bars. He said the second is Raul. The 2 great Real Madrid frauds are Raul first and Casillas second. Dude, Raul is like an untouchable legend.
The first soccer game I ever saw, I saw Raul at Giant Stadium playing with Zidane. I've always, again, he's a FIFA, he has a card. He has the FIFA icon card. What?
Bro, how could J Hicks 6 said, Casillas Hater 96 is his handle. Bro, you are probably dead on. What's the next quote?
Steven Jumbo just said, my fiance is a big Real Madrid fan. She quit watching them after they kicked out Casillas the way they did. That's right, because he, I know he left. He went to Porto, right? He also had a heart attack after, right?
He had a heart condition. I don't know if it's a heart attack.
I don't know I don't know what it was exactly. But man, I've always known him to be a legend. Yeah, so it's very strange. Yeah, he went to Porto. Okay.
What's the next one?
Next quote. It says, Florentino Perez Diaries. Let's go. Quote, Zidane's a great guy, and David Beckham and Ronaldo, but then there are others that think that. Let's see. Raul.
Wait, hold on.
That thing.
He just said Ronaldo's a great guy. Didn't he call him an idiot and a sick man?
I'm assuming that's R9, but I could be wrong.
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah. If he's talking about
because he's talking about that era.
Yeah. So Zidane's a great guy, and David Beckham and Ronaldo. But then there are others that think. Let's see. Raul.
Let me go down the list.
Let's see. Raul is a bad. That's just such a very specific. It's not even like mean. It's just like factual. He is.
But maybe he knows some shit we don't know, and these dudes are just doing dirt.
Possibly. Right. We don't know. But it says Raul is a bad person. He thinks Madrid is his, and he uses everything there is in Madrid, developing everything for his own benefit. Him and his agent. They are to blame for Madrid not doing well.
Okay, so this is the first, don't look at me, look at him moment.
Okay, because this is the real cancer at this club.
You think I'm doing a bad job? You should see what Raul's doing with all these media appointments he's making for himself.
Look, and there's not much, there's no specifics, there's no real detail, but this is pretty intense to think this of your players, and it just kind of pulls back the curtain on how much running a gigantic club like Real Madrid is. It's smoke and mirrors. It is theater to imply that like this is sort of how I feel as I get older. And the older you get, you start realizing like, oh, all of this is just nobody really knows what they're doing. They're just going up. Everybody's just trying to make sense of it. It doesn't matter if it's the biggest company in the world or a mom and pop shop. Everybody's just like day to day. We'll see, patch it together, see if it works out.
Buddy, even doctors, everyone is just going on a hunt, bro.
It is.
The fact that this world is still together is
people have phrases like professional opinion and like words like hypothesis, but it's really just like, look, I feel like this is what you got, okay?
I'm going to say this. Everyone's just on the edge. And Crimson Pizza said, it's all good because the tape ends with him going, allegedly.
Nero Nation said, Iker Casillas is a legend purely for making out with his journalist wife live on camera after winning the World Cup. Yes, I remember.
That's how you do it.
I remember that. Was that already his wife when he did that, or was it like his girlfriend?
I believe so. I believe they were already married. Also, Born Martin said he had a heart attack in training at Porto. Just to reference what you were talking about.
Yes, I do remember.
So Stephen Jumbo Jet said he was at the same game you went to, by the way.
Yes, Stephen Jumbo. Yeah, we've known each other for years.
Did you finish reading the okay. Look, I left among other reasons because of him. He was a negative guy. He is destroying Madrid. That's how he finishes the Raul thing. And now he goes on to Vicente del Bosque, which, if you don't remember, he is I think he's like 75 now. He was the Spain national team manager. He is like a beloved grandpa. That's how he's sold. He's like a calm old man.
Yeah.
Who I think
you're not gonna be mean to the elderly.
No, and if I'm not mistaken, he was like a caretaker for Real Madrid twice. Like he stepped in when other managers got fired. I know he managed them like I think in the early 2000s for like a few years. He said he doesn't know how to coach, nor does he know about tactics. He's a fool. No one offers Vicente del Bosque work because they all know he's not a coach. The Del Bosque stuff is the biggest lie I've seen in my life.
This is he's sounding, he is like, what about Tower 7? You know what I mean? He's just like, what
Bro,
is it? He's a conspiracy theorist.
He's knocking down these pillars of Real Madrid.
I mean, this is how you, this sounds like an exit interview, dude. This is brutal.
Martin said, I feel like he recorded this in his bedroom, pacing back and forth to remember later on. Then it leaked. This reminds me of like those like coming of age movies where like a kid gets made fun of in the lunchroom or something. And then the next scene is him trying to think of all the things he would have said back. You know what I mean? If he didn't like piss himself or something, you know, that's what this is. Because Vicente del Bosque, for all intents and purpose, this man is beloved. Like it's hard to explain. Like he is like an Arsene Wenger type. Like he is just seen as like a calming, grandpa-like force in all of Spain. Spain national team coach, and I believe he was their national team coach when they won at least the Euro. I might be wrong about that, but for him to say he doesn't know how to coach, nor doesn't know about tactics, that's the biggest lie I've ever seen in my life. Also, he says the Del Bosque stuff. What stuff? No one is saying anything about this beloved man.
He just hates the lore. He just hates him being brought up in any conversation.
He said, as the Besiktas president, when what he felt, Del Bosque isn't a coach, and Jose Antonio Camacho is. There's no reason for it.
It goes on.
And this is yet another huge name he goes after.
Next up, who's on the hit list? It says, quote, Luis Figo arrived and became close with Raul. Oh, boy. And between them and Fernando Hierro, they ran the squad. Poor Vicente. He didn't belong there. They say he'll take over the national team. That's just what they need. Del Bosque, Del Bosque took the Spain job in 2008 and won the World Cup and the Euros over the next 4 years, correct? Like
Texas. He went to back-to-back.
So
Now he takes out Luis Figo and Guti. He said Figo is the one who fucks up the locker room. He's a son of a bitch like Raul. Yo, he don't like Raul at all, dog. The two worst are Figo and Raul. So now he's shifting around his worst ever list.
He's like, thick of thieves, those two. You know, I can't stand them together. Back of the classroom ass fools.
He's laughing. I know what you're laughing at.
He said Guti's a bastard. His worst enemy is himself. He's being used by Cadena because they want to hire a moron, and he is a moron. And Cope will leave him hanging. He won't go. This guy. Who is he talking to? It's like he's talking to his therapist. That he's so comfortable.
What was the question that was asked that started this? Like, yo, tell me how you really feel. Is my dude on Molly? Something happened where he just felt like no barriers.
Boyd Martin said, I want to know what Raul did to this man. That's right, dude. What's it? And Raul, I think played to. Was it Raul or Figo? I don't know who played today.
Jess Howen said, man, give Florentino a few sangrias, and he really lets loose.
Rob from LA said, every day Florentino moves further away from God. Yeah, he needs Jesus, bro.
J Hicks 6 said, every called this man a villain because of the Super League, and he took it to heart. Everyone called this man. He's like, and I took that personally. I want to know what Raul did to this man. Boy, Raul got Raul number one on the hit list.
Yeah.
He started off talking at Ronaldo because he knew that's what's going to draw you in.
Yeah.
But my guy was just waiting to bring up Ronaldo.
But this is why like what I was saying before, like behind the scenes, there's a just a telenovela going on. There is so much drama in pretty much almost every aspect of society, but in these big institutions that they always make it seem like everything is in tip-top shape and everything is in order. But this is the reality of most workplaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if you ask me some serious questions about the workplaces I worked at, this dude's eating out, this girl in the office. I mean, there was some serious shit that happens that you just put on a brave face and move forward and don't say anything about. The last thing on this is about Michel selling Juan Mata. I think Michel is the one who made the hole for Mata to leave. He is the one who threw him out of Real Madrid Castilla to put his son on the team. He is a fraud. I mean, this guy's list of fraud. Is there more? Can more leak out?
I don't know, man. This is I'm curious because this didn't seem like it was that big of a story. Like you would think, I didn't see any like clips from like El Chiringuito, you know.
That's what I'm waiting to him standing here
flipping
like
out. Like what is?
With the camera zooms in on him and like, suspense music plays.
Because when it's about Eden Hazard hugging his former teammate at Chelsea, we do this. But when it's the president, it makes it seem like they got the media bought out, and and Chiringuito is just another arm of La Liga or these big clubs in La Liga, and will never say anything negative about Florentino Perez and the higher ups at these clubs.
Let me just tell you this. The fact that we had to pull up thewillnigeria.com as the website that listed out what was said lets you know something tricky is going on here.
For real, dog.
Why isn't this on the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Athletic, somebody, somewhere? No one's talking about this except thewillnigeria.com.
This is the what you call it? Like when people we're sort of doing the when they say like, why isn't the media talking about this and we're reading it on the media? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The news is like, no one's talking about it, bro. We're watching you right now. You're the one we came here to see talk about it. You're doing a pretty good job of it. Stefan FCB said apparently more leaks will come out about Laporta, which anyone with FCB in their name, is excited about this.
Boom. Stefan is like this right now, bro.
Let's go, Chiringuito. Fire it up.
So, look.
Freddie said, oh, damn, this is a Cooligans exclusive. Just us and thewillnigeria.com.
So look, I'm seeing it on a couple. ESPN FC put out some of the quotes. Bleacher Report. But when Spanish media starts talking about it, when Chiringuito gives us a clip, that's when it's legit. All right.
It ain't real to Chiringuito's rubbing them palms about it. You know what I mean?
I'm al football. Okay. This should just be a Chiringuito recap show because, they provide. I'm sure it's intentional, but they provide just the highest quality, memes or whatever. Okay. All right.
Luis Figo responded. Did you know that?
I did not know that. What did he say?
Let's see. I think that in a private conversation, you could say things that are taken out of context. Yo, Figo!
What about the fraud and moron? It's a little bit different. I feel like I got the right context.
I'm going to suggest context might not be necessary with someone. If someone said Alexis is a fraud and a moron, I'm not going to say, well, what did he say before that? I'm going to say, I think I've heard enough.
Who's that dude that's like, what do you mean by that?
No. Let the man tell me what he means by that. He said, I've had the opportunity to speak with him after the audio came out, and he's apologized to me. So it's a closed matter. Bro, there is money going back and forth.
It is a look. Real Madrid are just trying to stay afloat, handle this debt. I'm sure they got people who are trying to, do a margin call on that club and ask for their money. So they're doing everything they can to clear things up.
Now, I know no one really knows where the leak came from. Here's my theory. I'm going to give you my conspiracy theory. This is the Alexis conspiracy theory.
Okay.
You can take it to the bank. I think this is PSG. PSG is the one leaking it, or at least paid for this stuff to be leaked so that they can't buy Mbappe. So Mbappe be like, I don't want to go there. This place is a mess.
I've seen crazier things. I can see that.
That's my theory. Someone let me know if you agree with me in the chat.
This other thing I saw come up on the timeline real quick. This is during the Euros. Apparently, Luke Shaw played for England during the Euros with broken ribs.
Yo, Freddie said PSG and on.
Did you hear about this? Luke Shaw apparently played at the Euros with broken ribs. He got, I think, 3 assists and 1 goal.
I mean, is there any way to confirm this?
He said it. Why would he lie about that? I mean, it had nothing to do with them losing, I think. But.
Yeah, but I also think that's like making him into like a hero,
All right. I guess you don't feel bad or you're not impressed by playing in an international tournament with broken ribs. Not a big deal, I guess.
It's a huge deal if it's real, but we ain't heard about it till now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I just want to bring that up. Okay.
Robert from LA said, in my country, fraud and idiot are terms of love. Florentino quote, maybe.
I say it to my children every night,
Hey, UNT started out as a term of endearment, and here we are.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I did not. I mean, I don't believe it, I just as much as you don't believe Luke Shaw's ribs are broken.
I'm not saying they weren't. I'm just saying it's odd that we're hearing about it now.
Okay, so last thing as we wrap up, let's just talk a little bit about Gold Cup and how's that been going. What have been the kind of fun and exciting matches? Let's look at. I'll pull up the table real quick because all the group games I believe are done. No, there's one more. Slate of games. A couple teams. Group C and D have not finished up, but Mexico finished first in their group with 7 points. El Salvador in second, which was a good game. Mexico just won 1-0 against El Salvador. El Salvador has Alex Roldan from the Seattle Sounders, and he's looking sharp there as well.
You want to see something crazy? Who's in second place in Group D?
Group D. Qatar. Wow. They might finish first. Their next game is against Honduras if they win. Bruh.
I think it's today as we're recording, actually.
Right. So
Qatar. in the Gold Cup.
Correct. I mean, and this, if some people may not be aware, but occasionally in these international tournaments, they have like one just invited team that it's usually the team that's like hosting a World Cup soon. That's fairly common. And Qatar, I saw their first game against, what was it, Panama? It was like 3-3, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was 3-3 against Panama. They're a solid team. And they look pretty impressive, and I think 100% they could totally beat Honduras. We'll see what happens.
So if you look up why they were invited,
why were they invited?
The official term, the official description, or the official reason is that it's a part of a promotional. There's a term for it. I want to make sure that I'm quoting this correctly. Let me pull this up because. The reason was a strategic partnership to grow the game on both sides of the planet. Come on. It's still jug season? I didn't know. That just tells you that there's something going on here.
Stefan said Qatar has no qualifying games to play, so they need games to play. Away days, the term is bribery.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sharon, but synergy. Yeah, we thinking outside the box is what we do.
New Nation said Qatar was in the Copa America in 2019. Japan was also there. Yes. I
remember that.
Okay. So they're looking pretty sharp. It's a different, definitely you could argue the quality is a little bit lower in Gold Cup than it is in Copa America. So you could expect Qatar to maybe do a little bit better there. But I would say it's pretty embarrassing for the other two. Maybe Grenada, not that they're not a strong team, but Panama not getting through, which I don't think they will. Panama not getting through is pretty embarrassing to not get into the knockout round in the Gold Cup,
especially since they qualify for the World Cup,
right? The Costa Rica and Jamaica move on in Group C. They will. They don't even need to play the next game, really. We'll see who finishes first there. And U.S. Canada, first and second. U.S. won against Canada on Sunday, 1-0. Off a goal, the fastest goal, I believe, in U.S. men's national team history from Shaq Moore. A ball that was initially sent in by James Sands of NYCFC. My man got 2 starts in the Gold Cup in his first, international duty, and has looked pretty.
Handing out dimes.
And got a pass. It bounced around a little bit. It got to Sebastian Lletget. Across inside the box, Shaq Moore taps it in, and then after that, it got a little scary, right? They were just struggling to hold on to that.
It kind of reminded me of England, Italy,
right? But they did.
They held on.
They're a little bit different. So you could argue that the United States is better at the sport than England, but yeah, that's just me, and I'm speaking for Alexis as well, obviously.
Yeah, feel free to whenever you want.
So next up, what are the next matches? Once the U.S. Mexico's waiting to find out who their opponent is, and U.S. is also waiting to find out who their opponent is. But overall, it's been a fairly the knockout round is really when the Gold Cup gets a little bit more exciting.
Also, I just want to say about the U.S.-Canada match that I believe outside of Alphonso Davies, who was injured, and Jonathan David, that seems to me like that's Canada's pretty much tier A team.
Yeah.
Right? Well, look, Alphonso Davies is a massive miss. And Jonathan David playing incredibly well this season, obviously with Lille, won the Ligue 1 last year. But USA, for all intents and purposes, I believe that's really mostly their C squad.
Yeah, it's a weird Gold Cup. It's obviously with who was the country that got kicked out because of positive COVID cases? I forgot who, but it's all kind of it's not the strongest squads for Mexico, for the U.S. I would say for Canada, I would say that's probably close to the strongest.
It feels like it's at least 75% the strongest squad they can put out.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of improvement, and I think there's they already announced the World Cup qualifiers, the first one for the U.S., which is going to be in September. And who are they playing?
Freddie said Curacao was the team you're thinking about.
They got kicked out, right?
It got kicked out.
So we spoke with Maurice Adu about this, and just simply for fans, it's difficult for us to really care about the Gold Cup. But again, for these players and especially on these the U.S. men's national team, on Canada, this is really going to determine. This is really about can some of these guys get into that World Cup qualifier roster. So
have you seen anyone that you thought to yourself, yeah, even though they're not on some Premier League team or some European nation club, they should be a part of this World Cup team?
From
the U.S.
From the U.S. So I would say the player that has made the biggest case for themselves to play in a World Cup qualifier, I don't know if he'll start, but I gotta say James Sands. I think Sebastian Lletget is a lock for being a World Cup.
Yeah, I would say he's from the Tier A.
Right. But James Sands, I think, as for getting his first time, he's playing with so much confidence. He's playing.
Well, we know this from talking to him. He's unshakable.
Yeah, but he's moving the ball forward, playing even in a 3-man back line. He plays with such confidence and gets in the way and intercepts passes. I could see you could bring him on a defensive sub, maybe just playing defensive mid with a 4-man back line. That's a good dude that could close out a game. So
he does seem like a great shield for the center backs. He's just one of those players that loves to disrupt anything that's happening in the offense centrally.
Crimson Pizza said Daryl DK.
I don't think he played that well against Canada, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. I could see him being. I think he's on the bubble. I could see him being left out. I'd be fine either way. But that's. I think there. As far as just in the matches that we've seen so far,
how you play against Martinique. That's not enough.
Yeah.
To convince me.
I agree. Canada just said Canada was an off game for the U.S. in general, though.
And think about that. That's really, I think, would you guys agree that that's our C squad? That's not, I don't even think that's our B squad. I don't think, I would say the B squad is more of a lot of the bench players from the A squad. For that to still have been an off game and to win a tough match where they really lost momentum in that second half and Canada really took it to them.
Yeah.
To win that.
So I'm looking at the roster from the game. Yeah, even Miles Robinson has been pretty good too. I think it's it is. I mean the A squad is who can break into that. It's going to be really tough. I mean it's
really tough. But I can see James Sands because he plays in a position where there really is no definitive person on the A squad that does that. Tyler Adams isn't exactly a defensive midfielder, and neither is Weston McKennie.
Sure. Okay, yeah.
I could see James Sands being that, N'Golo Kante role of just just hug the back line. I could see him at least getting a shout. So I agree with you there.
It'd be an interesting pairing of having, where Sands can't start because it would be Tyler Adams, McKennie. Who else in the midfield? Lletget maybe. I mean that's a strong lineup. But if Sands coming in at the end of a game for Tyler Adams would allow Weston McKennie to play up more because he's a much more of a scoring threat. James Sands.
Yeah, I can see that.
James Sands has not scored a professional goal yet. So it'd be interesting. But I look as far as the names here. I think people were criticizing Alexi Lawless's top 5 center backs for the men's national team. He had, I don't remember the exact name. I know Walker Zimmerman was there. John Brooks, Matt Miazga. Who are the other two? I don't remember. But
I'm trying to look it up.
Look, maybe there's an injury, maybe something happens, but I think either James Sands or even Miles Robinson, I think could creep into that squad. Okay, so when's the next? This match is going on now as we are recording, but the next match for the U.S. When will that be? That is going to be.
I can't find the top 5, but I do. While you're looking that up,
Sunday, by the way. So Canada and the U.S. will be playing. They're waiting to find out who they play, but they're going to be playing on Sunday.
People were saying that DK wasn't getting a lot of service, and that Hazard said DK being left out would be criminal. Freddie Alacon said DK wasn't getting a whole lot of service against Canada. Hazard said, "Dude is such a natural goal scorer. Let me see him getting service from Pulisic or McKennie." I mean, you're not wrong, but I also don't think in the moments where we've needed to see him shine, he's shined.
Okay.
I think he's very good, and I think he belongs on the Tier A squad. Is he a starter? In fact, and maybe he has to learn the system a bit more, but I'm more confident seeing him there than Giassi Zardes if we're talking about going to the World Cup.
I don't know. Giassi has so much experience. I don't know. If I had to pick between the two right now, I would go with Giassi. I think
for what reason? Just because he's done it so much before?
Yeah, just the experience. If like again, there's no you can only take one. I'll go with the more experienced player. Look, Jess is saying leave Giassi home. DK has a better first touch.
DK has the first touch. No offense, Giassi.
No, but Giassi scores a gang of goals.
But he does that because he understands Berhalter's system.
Yes, and
even if you go back to his time at Columbus, he puts himself in the right place at the right time. And look, Hazard saying bonkers. Christian's not wrong. Giassi Zardes gets buckets.
Yeah.
But is he a bucket? No. DK is.
Oh,
I trust DK more.
Look, DK has he did it in the championship. Yes, he's done it. You know, he has he scored yet since he's gotten back to Orlando? Maybe he's gotten one goal.
He also did kind of stop scoring at the end in Europe.
Right. And he also didn't play in the Nations League final, right? He's that's also a thing too. He's not, again, he's a young guy. He has a absolutely bright future ahead of him. But just saying.
Look at that. Freddie Alacon said there's a small chance that DK gets sent home due to injury since CONCACAF is allowing roster changes due to injury. DK has so much upside, boys. The ceiling is endless, as well as
they missed the World Cup last time around. There's no
you can't play games.
Ifs, or
you can't play games. And I will say this: if it has to do with World Cup qualifying,
that's what we're talking about.
I gotta kind of agree with Christian here.
The stakes right now.
Did someone say stakes? Like it's too important to bring in someone who has a high potential. But I could see a world where Zardes is there for the World Cup qualifying. DK goes to the World Cup.
Maybe. I still think that would be odd. Freddie says, exit DK, enter Josie.
As I said, and here you are wanting Giassi.
Look, if we had to pick between the two, but yeah, somebody also did mention Josh Sargent. Jimmy Conrad with the sub coming through.
Let's go. 5 months in, Jimmy Conrad. Thank you so much for the shout.
Jimmy, who do you think? I mean, Jimmy's going to say, send me to the World Cup. But
yeah,
we're trying to, if you had to pick between only one of the two, Giassi Zardes or Daryl DK as a striker that is playing in a World Cup qualifier, we're trying to figure out who from the Gold Cup squad can play is going to get a call to the World Cup qualifier. And Jimmy Conrad, the expert, is saying Daryl DK.
Okay, can you tell us why?
Yeah, weigh in. Jaron is saying F the Glens because he is a fan of the rival team in San Francisco. But okay, we're here for the bands. Okay. Jess said we're on the DK train here, my guys. Jump aboard already.
I mean, I kind of feel like I already know what's going to happen. We just put up a poll. Who do you send to the World Cup? Zardes or DK? Wow. Jimmy Conrad apparently has emojis for the San Francisco Glens.
Freddie said we're all riding that DK. I'll see myself out. Okay.
Luke Sturgio said, why haven't you guys and Jimmy done I believe he means a Prem show. He put poem shoe, but I'm pretty sure he means Prem show.
Jimmy streams every single day. Essentially, he's very busy. But Jimmy, you're more than welcome to join us here.
Please, it would be an honor to have Jimmy Conrad on for a Prem show.
Yeah, Jimmy's been on the TV show only and the podcast a whole bunch. Okay, we have the poll up.
Okay, let me tell you something.
It's an overwhelming.
This one's gonna be a tight one, folks. As of right now, it is 16-0. I'll let you guess. Daryl DK.
How does no one think Giazzi should be playing in a World Cup qualifier?
There's not one person.
He scored a couple goals so far.
Can Berhalter please get it in the chat?
This is
Paolo in Minnesota says Zardes is an old man. Bring the youngsters.
We got one Zardes vote.
There we go.
Man, maybe is it that we're playing too cautious? We're thinking a little too cautiously. Yeah, dude.
Good God. It is 22-1 right now.
Robert from LA said, those are USA versus Thailand results right there.
It sure is. This is crazy. 22-1.
Oh, Jess asked a great question. She said, wait, who does Jimmy Conrad have as coach of his Thirst Trap 11?
Hilarious. Up the youth. Ban the bot. Ban that bot. Well, which bot? Hold on. That was a sympathy vote from Freddie. By the way, I also voted for DK on behalf of Cooligans. 25-1 right now. Daryl DK.
All right.
To Giassi Zardes.
Hannah Banana said Polanco playing the harmonica and Jimmy dropping bars as a segment.
Hold on. This is important. Crimson Pizza said Giazzi equals Pagel.
You mean a very delicious and healthy alternative to a starting striker?
Can you bring one if we do end up going to Orlando? Can you bring one so I could try it once and for all?
I mean, you have to. It's gonna go bad on the way there.
Oh, how will I know?
Okay.
We know what we get with Zardes, and it's middling at best. Only you two doofuses see otherwise. That's from El Hazah. Luke Sturgio, you've missed a lot if you don't know what a bagel is. You haven't been here in a minute.
Bagel is a paleo bagel. It has
It's just as basura as you think it is.
No gluten. It's a very good bagel.
No, it is not. It's not a bagel at all, actually. It's a bagel. You know what? What is the vote so far? It is 26-1, Daryl DK. Maybe we're wrong, but I think people are forgetting that Giassi Zardes is an expert at one thing and one thing only, and that is the Berhalter system.
Yeah.
And every time we second guess him, he scores another goal.
Okay. The New Nation, I remember when Giardis was propped up as the next big thing, but fell off a cliff. But I don't know if it's look, I think he's climbed back up a little bit. He's a reliable guy. He's consistent. You can't say, you watch Giassi Zardes on multiple U.S. men's national team matches and he's been terrible. Yes, he's had a couple games that we didn't, when the expectation is very, very high, maybe didn't meet those expectations. But overall, I think I feel like he's a fairly reliable option. That's all. We're talking about players that are in this Gold Cup squad that could possibly make it into a World Cup qualifier. That's all. I'm not saying he's the next Maradona. Nobody's saying all that. I'm just saying he's a safe option. Anyway, okay.
Maybe Daryl DK is the right guy.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm just saying. Look, if we're basing it solely on performances at the Gold Cup, as far as you asked the question of what players really stood out to you, Daryl DK was not one of the ones that definitively stood out to me. Great player. I'm just saying I don't want to miss the World Cup again. Okay, that's all.
Hey, you know what? Crimson Pizza says Giazzi has already failed to qualify though.
So why?
Ain't wrong.
Right, but nobody's blaming him exclusively.
By the way, Freddie contributed 35 bits, so DK could win 27-2.
It was a good investment. Good investment.
And Hot Max Express with 1,000 Gully bucks just to make Daryl DK win in what was already going to happen.
Just a real slam dunk right there. Okay, I think we can wrap up right now. I think anything else coming up? We mentioned this when we were on Twitch. We have booked a flight to Orlando. We are going for the Florida Cup. We will be there it's going to be Everton, Arsenal, Inter Milan, and Millonarios. We don't know. We're hearing reports that Arsenal's not going because they have...
Not reports. It's confirmed.
By whom?
By Arsenal.
Arsenal confirmed it on their Twitter?
Not on their Twitter. That's an article from... Right. Wasn't that article from...
It is...
Arsenal's website?
No, that was from a reporter from The Athletic. The people... Somebody just gave us a message or something. I saw this on Slack that they are...
no, it's on Arsenal.com. Arsenal.com's website. It says U.S. trip off after positive COVID tests.
Okay, we've confirmed it. So it looks like...
Another Cooligans exclusive.
So that's why so Arsenal's not going to be there. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're even going to go still. This could be canceled entirely. I hope not. We were going to announce a whole thing. We're going to be hosting an event.
We might not.
Jimmy
Conrad said Inter could be next. So we might be out completely. Jimmy, were you going to be there? Do you need a hotel room for 6 days?
Freddie said Everton wins the Cooligans derby. Yep, by default. Okay. So we'll follow us on.
Jaron out of pocket, baby.
Well, I don't know what happened.
He said you out of pocket, or were they paying for you? Oh, I mean, let's just say we got some money to cover expenses, but we ain't get that check yet. You know what I mean?
So, Freddie says 6 days. Yeah, it was going to be a big, investment of our time and energy, and we were going to film a bunch of stuff. Hopefully it happens. We'll see. We don't know. So,
by the way, somebody responded. I put a screen cap of our poll, and I say, "What say you?" on Twitter, on the Cooligans Twitter account, and someone said, "To be honest, I'd take both DK and Zardes and drop Sargent." Okay, a Molotov cocktail has been thrown into the conversation.
Wow. So I'm doing Olympics coverage for Twitch, so I'm out. He couldn't go to meeting going to the Florida Cup. Okay. So stick with us. We will be hopefully announcing very soon. Our flight is on Friday. We'll know for sure.
Stay tuned because we don't know what's happening.
But hopefully we'll be there. Hopefully the hope. This was the dream to be able to maybe interview some Arsenal players, interview Everton players. Be around. There's like a Legends 5v5 game that's going on, and so. We're hoping that those are things that we can be involved in and do and film and bring you guys a bunch of fun content, but we don't know if it's happening. But
it's mostly going to be Christian and I crying in a hotel room for 6 days.
So follow us on Instagram, please. We're trying to get to 25K followers. We're almost there. We need just a couple, 700 more. Follow us at Soccer Cooligans on Instagram, and we'll update folks when we find out what is going on with Orlando. Hopefully, yeah. And I'm hoping everybody Arsenal. From what I've heard is that they were positive tests, but the players are asymptomatic. Get vaccinated. I mean, look, we're seeing all the results of that. 99% of the people that are getting sick or hospitalized are unvaccinated. So I think it's safe to say when it's 99%, it probably is effective and probably works. I
also want to say Monty Rossetti said, "What's up at Soccer Cooligans? Just want to say Arsenal's better than Newcastle." Jimmy, don't at me. Shouts to Monty Rossetti, one of the best doing it.
Yes, the whole Jimmy Conrad crew. The Crimson Pizza just said the Cooligans live from the Orlando Marriott with special guest, the cleaning lady.
Oh yeah, ¿qué tal? Here we are.
Okay, Dulce, how are you doing?
No trabajo dura.
So a lot of fun stuff, hopefully, to look forward to. All right, so everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast.
JX said, exclusive news from the ice machine. We need a translator.
So yes, we have the next episode of the TV show airs on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fubo Sports Network. Go check that out. FuboSportsNetwork.com. You can watch for free if you do not have Fubo TV, or you can watch on the whole Roku, Pluto TV, a bunch of different services. So please check that out. What was the other thing I wanted to do? Oh yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Soccer Cooligans. And if you want to watch some the TV show and clips of the show, go to youtube.com/Fubo Sports. We have
right there in the chat.
Right there in the chat. And yeah, you can watch the interview that we did with the Ted Lasso guys. It's on YouTube there already. So go support. We appreciate it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Another Prem show. We appreciate it. Have a good week. Hopefully you'll hear us or see us from Orlando next week. Well, we will find out.
Or a lot like Arsenal, we'll pull out.
We'll just stay home, okay? All right. My name is Cristian Polanco.
And my name is Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
The Cooligans!